You're listening to WRPR Mawa.
Now that's a face for radio.
It's perfect. It's unbelievable.
It's a miracle.
It's a TV dinner.
It's WRPR, Mawa Ramapo Radio.
It could change the world.
We're the Tiger Cubs from Oakland, New Jersey. Listening to WRPR.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho, H to the O-V. I used to move snowflakes.
Hello, fans of all ages. We are indeed the Beasts of the East. Ryan Moore back from Madison Square Garden alongside Scott Thompson here with you on this Wednesday, December 9th, 2015, right here on WRPR 90.3 FM. I can't feel my legs, man.
I can't either. I actually ripped my leggings. My leggings are ripped. I got these brand new camo leggings that I got 3 compliments on today. And,
those are nice.
And I ripped them.
Yeah, Scott and I and the whole squad, me, Scott, George, Brandon, Mike, flag football. We lost in the semis. I'm not going to harp on it too much because we have not stopped. The game ended like 3:15. It's 6 o'clock.
Before
we haven't stopped talking about it for the last 2.
It's all right. It's all right.
We should have won.
We wouldn't have had a chance in the championship. That's why I said I don't care as much as these guys do.
Because the baseball teams won 25 championships in a row.
They're so good. They won state championships. They go to Florida.
I know. Well, anyone can go to Florida. You register.
The Asian Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he's gross. He's unbelievable. I don't get it. You know what I do get, though? I'm liking the fact that the Yankees got Starlin Castro yesterday.
I love that trade. Liking that trade. This middle infield now is under the age of 25, I believe.
They're both 25.
Both 25.
They will both be 26 when the season starts.
Let's have some fun.
You realize that the Yankees are not giving up a hit in the middle infield?
No.
Seriously.
No, I mean, Castro has – I don't even know why he was at second base last year. I think his range is insane. His first step is crazy.
Yep.
It's all about just fixing his bat a little bit. He
had 6 errors in 33 games, but
yeah,
it was his first time playing second base. You know what, though? He hit 350 after he moved to second base.
Really?
I don't know what kind of transition that makes. I don't know how that really helps him, but
I think that stat is. I don't think it makes sense.
It doesn't. It's
make
weird.
sense.
Like, I don't know how changing defense changes up your approach at the plate.
But I really like the move. Now let's see what Cashman does with Ref Schneider.
He's getting traded.
Yeah, I mean he has to. I mean, can he play the outfield? No, right? So let's see if they can possibly make Ref Schneider and maybe a couple other people for Jose Fernandez. Who knows?
We'll get into that, but here's the thing about Ref Schneider. It took the Yankees forever to call him up last year. So they already knew something that we didn't know.
I thought that after the All-Star break he would have came up.
Yeah, and he didn't come up until that one series against Boston. And he got sent back down after like 10 games. I don't even think it was that much. Then he didn't get called back up until September. And then we hear all this talk about how he has a this was back in April, major league bat, shaky with the glove. He improved his fielding, and he still didn't come up into the major leagues. So the Yankees knew something that we didn't know because every Yankee fan wanted him to come up. Now, they traded Pereira. He was part of the what trade? Not the Aaron Hicks trade.
Not the Aaron Hicks trade. That was John Ryan Murphy was with the Aaron Hicks trade.
Right.
Jose Pereira went. I'm trying to think. I forgot about Aaron Hicks, by the way.
Aaron Hicks. You want to hear my bold prediction?
I just love how they got young guys.
Yeah.
So far.
My bold prediction for Aaron Hicks is that he's going to be an all-star this year.
Yeah. I mean,
he's really good. The Yankees are getting young. The Yankees are getting young. After this year, hopefully they don't trade him. You have Greg Bird at first, Starlin Castro at second, Didi at third. Your oldest infielder would be Chase Headley in 2017, and he'll be 33 years old. Then your outfield is, as of right now, Gardner. I think he will be traded. Ellsbury, who will be 33 or 34, even he might be traded. Mm-hmm. And then you'll probably have Aaron Judge if he's not traded. They are getting very young. And you have Tanaka, who will be 28. CC will probably be gone. They're going to make a move for a pitcher because they're going to have to. That's just how it is. You have Pineda. You have Severino. They are getting very young, and then McCann's going to have 2 years left on his contract after this year. You have Gary Sanchez going to back him up.
Look who won these past World Series. I love what Cashman is doing here. I think he actually has a plan in what he is doing. The past 2 series winners have been the San Francisco Giants and the Kansas City Royals.
Yep.
Look, I mean, we can't really do it right now because that would take a lot of research, but I want to see how many people are over the age of like 32 on those teams. These teams are young. They're guys that want to play, like we were saying during baseball season, during the playoff push, that these young players are bringing back the game of baseball very slowly because it's becoming very more competitive. You have a lot of things going on. I feel like Cashman is embodying that new change in the MLB. And you get Aaron Hicks, you get Starlin Castro, and I really have a feeling that in the next week we'll see on our little timelines here that Jose Fernandez is going to pop up as the new Yankee starting pitcher.
Kansas City last year, 12th oldest team, average age 27. San Fran last year, 27.5. I mean, it's really not that much. But you look at the team, that's a lot of older guys who those are the outliers, I guess. Jose Pirelli got traded to the Padres, by the way, for a minor leaguer that I've never heard of. I wasn't a big fan of that, but they had to ship out their second baseman. They're like the Giants running backs. Pirela, Brendan Ryan, Stephen Drew, Ackley, Ref Snyder.
You don't have one solidified starter.
So many guys.
It's like you're picking a name out of the hat for that day.
So Pirela, I knew Pirela or Ref Snyder were getting traded.
Yes.
Because it had to happen. Pirela got traded, and I said, okay, they either really like Ref Snyder or because they weren't going to – I don't think Ackley would have been their everyday starter. I don't think that Brendan Ryan was going to be their everyday starter. Brendan Ryan was rumored to be the player to be named later, but that's not official yet. In the Castro trade, I'm saying. I think Ref Snyder was going to be the guy, but here's the thing. For whatever reason, the Yankees don't think Rob Ref Snyder is an everyday player. And what bothers me about that is that he was the starting second baseman for the wild card game. Granted, Stephen Drew had a concussion. He missed the last month of the year. But you had Ackley. You had all of these guys to possibly put in. And you don't think Rob Refsnyder is an everyday player when he started in the wild card game, and Jacoby Ellsbury is an everyday player, and he sat that game.
Yeah, I mean, granted, there was Dallas Keuchel on the mound, so that lefty-righty matchup. But still, this kid didn't even, like we said, he didn't even come up after the All-Star break. He was just thrown in in his second month, I believe, of playing Major League Baseball, and he's playing in a definitive wild card game. If he's not an everyday player, I mean, what do you consider him in that case? When I saw that on Twitter when you posted that, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that's on the managing also, because it's not Cashman's call to say who plays and who doesn't. That's on Girardi. But I think they would all be in sync. No?
Yeah, I mean, you would figure that, but anyway, I mean, it's doesn't mean anything for Rob Refsnyder now because he's definitely gonna get shipped out. I mean, what are you gonna do with him? Unless you do keep him as the backup. I mean, you have Brendan Ryan's out. Stephen Drew wasn't re-signed. So, I mean, who would back up Starlin Castro? Is Dustin Ackley re-signed?
Dustin Ackley is on the team, I think. I think he had one more year left.
Okay, so right now, Refsnyder, I think, is
getting traded.
Is going to get traded right now.
Cashman and Girardi. Greg Bird started. If he doesn't get traded, Greg Bird is starting the year in the minors because they hate having their young prospects sit the bench. They just and I kind of like that. I mean,
it makes sense. Yeah,
it makes sense. So Refsnyder, you can't have a 22-year-old guy backing up a 25-year-old guy. Refsnyder is getting traded. Castro is, I think, 3 years away from free agency, along with Didi Gregorius. They're there for a long time. Refsnyder is going to get traded, and you have to think with the Jose Fernandez sweepstakes, that's a possibility. And my bold prediction is that this was before the Yankees got Castro. I said it would be Gardner, Miller, and Mateo for Jose Fernandez, and maybe another prospect.
What do you mean maybe? You're going to give away 3 key guys for one person? I mean, I would expect another prospect there.
Yeah, but
give away Brett Gardner.
Do you know how many the Marlins are asking for? A lot,
because his potential is through the roof and then some.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. What did he have? Did he have Tommy John?
Yeah, Tommy John.
So think about what happened with Matt Harvey after Tommy John. This guy's going to be throwing so much. I mean, we might see an innings limit from him this year, possibly. But, I mean, we don't know. He has so much potential. He's such a young guy with a great competitive nature, and that's what I think the Yankees need right now. They need better young guys with that competitive nature that can bring a lot of fire and drive to a team. And I really think that Jose Fernandez would love New York. You have a mainly Spanish fan base. Yeah. I mean, he could definitely relate to everybody. I think
not that he doesn't have that in Miami.
No, not that he doesn't have it in Miami, obviously. But I mean, that's Cuban nation. I mean, he's
exactly.
Cuban, but still, there's a lot of Spanish people in New York. So I think it would be definitely a really, really good place for Jose Fernandez to post up.
Jose Fernandez is getting traded. He's going to get traded. The question is where, and the question for the Yankees is how much are you willing to give up?
I feel like you have to give up. I feel like the people that look at what the Diamondbacks did. Look at what the Dodgers did.
Well, the Diamondbacks, I think they got ripped apart. They got rid of Swanson.
Dansby Swanson is such a tank.
They got rid of Dansby Swanson and someone else for Shelby Miller. Shelby Miller is not.
Dansby Swanson is going to start shortstop for the Braves this year. Anderson Simmons is gone. Who else do they possibly have?
Here it is. D-backs acquire Shelby Miller and a prospect from Atlanta for someone I never heard of, Aaron Blair, who is rumored to be a very good prospect.
Yeah.
And Dansby Swanson.
Your first-round draft pick.
You know the Braves now have the Diamondbacks' last 2 first-round picks?
Really?
Yeah.
Who was the other one?
Some guy I'd never heard of. Weird name. I don't know. I looked it up last night. I didn't even.
Well, you're going to see Dansby Swanson in that navy blue and white.
This year?
Yes, without a doubt. Anderson Simmons is gone. You have a first-round draft pick who was rumored to actually play.
I don't get why the Braves are doing that. Simmons is gone. They got rid of McCann a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now Shelby Miller.
Justin Upton's gone.
Upton's gone. I said McCann. They shipped out everyone. And they have a stadium opening up next year. Don't you want a little bit of a run? 1 year is not enough time to grow chemistry with a team that their average age is 24 years old.
Maybe they just want to rebuild, but I mean they have some good pieces. They have some quality pieces. I think Dansby Swanson is definitely going to have a solid 10 to 12 year career where he puts up pretty good numbers. I mean, this guy does everything. They compared him a lot to Derek Jeter, the way he can hit for average and go everywhere on the field. But like you said, you have a new stadium. You want at least a little bit of a run. Maybe like even in the first half, if you go on like a win streak, you want something like that. But I just don't see the Braves even making a push in the NL East.
They won't make a push, obviously. But going back to Fernandez, I said Miller, Gardner, and now it's going to look like either Mateo or Refsnyder for Fernandez. Would you do that? Would you want to do that if you're
Miller and Gardner and Mateo or Refsnyder for Jose Fernandez? That's like a question you asked Francesa. But I would need somebody else from the Marlins end. I really would, because like you said, I don't care about the other two. I don't, because you get Aaron Hicks, that's fine. Guy can hit better than Gardner, fine. You get Starlin Castro,
and you know what? I think that Gardner and Miller, they'll probably be in 2 separate deals, because teams are going to realize that, especially with Gardner, they're going to realize that they have guys to throw in Gardner's spot.
Yeah.
So like teams will say, why are you asking for so much if you really don't even want this guy?
Yeah.
Miller, it's different, because the Yankees, Miller was awesome last year.
Unbelievable.
He won reliever of the year.
Who's going to take his spot?
Betances.
But that's the thing. Betances is very shaky. You never know what happens with him. I feel like you could just trust Miller more, and that's why.
Betances was shaky because he got overworked.
Yes, but still, I mean that's that.
I want the Yankees to keep Miller. I would rather than.
I do. I mean, I wish they would do it, but it just seems like Cashman is all for Gardner and Miller leaving. No matter what the
he's
situation.
not opposed to it. He's not. I don't think Cashman is going up to people and saying, "Okay, we'll give you Miller and Gardner," unless if it's for Jose. I think Jose Fernandez is the only guy that they would.
He said in a couple of press conferences, "We're going to make a deal if I like it." He's not going to be the one going out there shopping people. He's going to have the other owners and the other GMs to call him and say, "Listen, this is what we'll give you for this." If he doesn't like it, he won't take it. But if he does, which I have a feeling it might involve, I think it might involve both of them. If it's for Jose Fernandez, I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't. But like you said, do you like that?
No.
I don't, because I mean he is coming off of Tommy John surgery, so you don't know what this guy is going to produce this year. But
let's look at it one by one on the Yankees' end. Andrew Miller was the best American League reliever last year. He won the AL Reliever of the Year award, and he did that by missing a month and a half.
Yeah,
only 2 blown saves. The guy's a freak. The guy's unbelievable.
That's my kicker in that deal. If you were to put that deal up, that Gardner, Mateo, Refsnyder, or Miller, Miller is my kicker. I don't care about the other two that go, because you have solid replacements. You have people that are up to their standards, if not higher.
Right, because you have Didi, and I think Didi's going to stay for a long time because the Yankees love him. The Yankees love Didi Gregorius.
Yeah. And it's great. I love what they're doing. People who are thinking off Starlin Castro and flip them. No. Didi found his spot at shortstop, and he's making web gem plays, and he's hitting now. You leave Didi where he is, put Starlin Castro at second.
Didi is a better shortstop than Starlin Castro is.
But going back to Andrew Miller, you just can't replace that in your bullpen. Right now, you can't replace that in your bullpen. You thought that they get Craig Kimbrell. Didn't happen. Red Sox pick him up. You thought that they get Aroldis Chapman. Dodgers pick him up.
No, that's not official yet.
I mean, it is on hold, yes, but it looks like the Dodgers are still going to take him.
I don't know. They said
as of right now, it said that the Dodgers are leaning to still making that deal go through. Whatever the heck happened with that situation, I mean,
that's
Aroldis Chapman.
You have Darren O'Day. He's gone. He went back to Baltimore. There aren't a lot of relievers now on the market,
and especially lefty specialists like Miller.
Yeah, a lefty closer.
You got to mix and match your Betances and Miller. I mean, if there were more lefties in the 8th, you throw Miller and put Betances at the end. So they won't have that courtesy anymore if Miller is gone.
Now let's look at Gardner. Brett Gardner has been on the trade market for 5 years.
Yeah.
The Yankees want to get rid of him. Back-to-back years where he has crashed and burned in the second half of the year.
He's top 5 fastest people in the league, gets picked off trying to steal second all the time. I mean, I feel like he's there to get on base and to steal bases and to produce runs. He has not been doing that. He's been hitting mediocre. And
the reason why that the Yankees don't steal bases is because they have the power. Joe Girardi's thinking is, why am I going to waste outs if I have A-Rod and Teixeira and Beltran here?
Did you hear the names you named? A-Rod, 40 years old. Yep. Teixeira, everything is hurt.
Yep.
And Beltran, 36 or 37.
37 last year.
Yeah. So it's stupid, I agree.
It
is stupid. But
that is their thinking. Why waste outs if we have guys who can drive it out of the park?
Aaron Hicks, I think, is definitely a good backup to Gardner. I mean, if Gardner leaves.
Let me tell you something about Aaron Hicks. This guy has one of the best arms in the MLB.
And this is why I'm saying kudos, real quick before you say this, kudos to Brian Cashman. You gave away Austin Jackson. Thank God that Aaron Hicks came here, because I think that makes up for it, if not better, because he has so much potential. It's all about tapping that. I think the Yankees can definitely do that.
Aaron Hicks is unbelievable. I saw him. I mean, granted, the base runner was Vernon Wells, but Aaron Hicks threw a strike from dead center field in Yankee Stadium and got Vernon Wells out at third base. The guy has an unbelievable arm. He's another left-handed batter that the Yankees could use. Short porch.
I forgot Vernon Wells played for the Yankees, by the way.
Vernon Wells played for the Bronx's Vernon. Vernon Wells is on the Yankees.
So many people are on the Yankees.
Oh,
What's his face? I forgot his name. Kevin Youkilis was on the Yankees. Where is he?
Japan.
He's in Japan playing.
Yeah. Kevin Brown. Randy Johnson.
Tell him the stat you told me about Kevin Brown the other day.
Kevin Brown. Because this was a big conversation because of Ben Zobrist.
Yeah.
Ben Zobrist is getting 4 years, $56 million.
That's $14 million a year for a guy who's 34 years old and bats .270 every year.
Kevin Brown, when he was 34 years old, the Padres signed him. No, the Dodgers signed him to a 7-year, $105 million contract. That is the largest contract given to a player 34 years or older. Second was Bonds, 5 years, $90 million. Who else is on that list? I don't remember.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I just thought it was funny. Kevin Brown.
I
feel like he was
the guy sneezed and was on the DL for 6 weeks when he was with the Yankees. But now, all right, now Mateo and Refsnyder. I think you can get rid of those guys.
Yeah.
Brian Cashman said that Mateo was untradeable, and he almost bit on the Kimbrel deal. I think he did bite.
Should have bit.
I think he did.
Looking at it now, he should have bit.
Yeah, I especially now with Miller.
He's probably kicking himself, but I mean, you can get him to get Jose Fernandez. I feel like if that is your redemption there, so you give away Austin Jackson, get Aaron Hicks.
But again, this goes with the Yankee asking price. The Yankees can afford to get rid of Mateo, and it's really a no-brainer.
Exactly.
So are the Marlins going to realize that and ask for more? Like, think about it. People are asking the Yankees now for Greg Bird, Aaron Judge, and Luis Severino.
You're not giving away Bird and Severino.
No.
Every single GM should get that through their heads. Brian Cashman will not bite on that. Judge, probably not too, because this guy is absolutely insane.
Yeah, especially not Greg Bird. You're telling me that after Teixeira leaves next year, the best first baseman
Oh, you're calling that already.
What?
You're calling that already.
What am I calling?
Oh, that he's gone next year?
Who, Teixeira?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Without a doubt.
No, there's no question. I think it's Adam Lind, Edwin Encarnacion, Kendrys Morales. There's one other guy, but like they're all like 34 years old. The Yankees don't want that anymore. They have Greg Bird. Greg Bird is their first baseman.
Like they said, the MLB is changing with these young players now. You're not buying your old players. I feel like look what happened with Curtis Granderson. You bought the guy who was 32 years old instead of keeping your young gun. And I mean, he hit 40+ home runs, but he batted .240 every year. The whole blueprint of the MLB is just completely changing to keeping your young guys and building them instead of buying everybody.
It's tough. If the Yankees want Fernandez, they want a big asking price. But there was a rumor going around saying Severino for Fernandez. That's
Won't
not
happen.
true. The Yankees have said Severino is not leaving. The two, it used to be Mateo, Judge, Bird, Severino. Now I think it's gone down to just Bird and Severino. Judge, because he's been struggling a little bit. Now Mateo's been in the talks because now they have Castro. The two definites, though, are Greg Bird and Severino.
You know, I was just thinking, imagine that Aaron Judge goes to the Marlins. You have
Aaron Judge goes.
You have
to the
Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge on the same team. They're like twin towers playing at the same time.
I mean, I think Aaron Judge has gotten into a slump. The guy rakes. Spring training last year, the guy was roping. Futures game, he was roping.
You know what it is? I feel like a lot of it has to do with the coaching. I mean, I feel like if he gets a professional hitting coach and he goes up to the big guys, all you got to do is tweak little things. He swings at everything like Stanton does. He swings at everything. He has a lot of strikeouts, but he also, I believe, led AAA in doubles last year because he, like you said, he rakes. He hits lasers.
Yeah.
And
it's just that Miller is the guy that I'm worried about.
Gardner,
Mateo, and Refsnyder, okay, but I love
crossing my fingers he doesn't go, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
I would not be surprised either. And I'm not going to say it's a good deal, it's a bad deal, because the Yankees do have a very good bullpen. Mm-hmm. I think that the bullpen is getting more underrated as time goes on, and people are starting to realize how important it is. Because look at the Royals. Best bullpen in the league the last 2 years. They made it to the World Series 2 years in a row.
And they won one.
The Yankees won. The Yankees were winning with the good bullpen, and now it's I mean, they crash and burn, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We got a caller on the line. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Overbridge, New Jersey.
Is this Tommy Savaro?
Tommy Savaro.
This is TJ's dad.
Okay. Okay.
What's up, Tommy?
And I listen to the show. Got to disagree with you about something.
Oh, okay. All right. Hit me.
Teixeira ain't going nowhere. I'm going to tell you why.
All right.
He's got another year left on his contract.
Right.
He's about to have a guy sit on the bench to pay all that money to. And when he's healthy, the guy's going to produce 30, or close to 30 homers now, 100 RBIs. And by easing Bird at first base, we'll give Teixeira some more time, to rest up.
Greg Bird is not going to be in the
full
majors,
season.
Tom. Greg Bird is not starting this year in the majors. I can tell you that.
You know what? I mean, for the sake of him getting that bat, I could see him going down. But you know what? He proved his value at the end of the year.
Right.
And I think if they can get Teixeira to play not as many games as he plays to keep him healthy, mix Bird in there because he is the heir apparent, I see him making the Major League roster. Same reason why they're bringing up that catcher with the Sanchez.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it would be worth it for him to get his at-bats in the minors, but they're not doing that. They want him at the Major League level.
Right. Well, that's a little different because McCann's going to have more off days.
Yeah, but you know what? The Yankees are waiting for the 2 years. When next year, after Teixeira comes off, and you got A-Rod and Sabathia coming off the year after that, and you got free agents like kid from the Nationals. Why don't I forget his name? On MVP. Harper.
Oh, Harper.
Yeah, he'll be available. And he said he always wanted to be a Yankee.
Yeah, that's inevitable.
I like what Cashman's doing now because he's saving his money to buy Bryce Harper. He's literally saving his money to buy him.
Plus, Cashman's legacy, he's never really developed players in the minors. Like, he didn't develop Jeter and Posada. And
that was Gene Michael.
Rivera.
That was all Gene Michael.
But yeah, exactly. But now he's got Severino, he's got Judge, he's got Bird. Maybe he wants to give that a shot.
I just think that you think Teixeira stays with the Yankees after next year?
No. This is his final year, but I'm not. I thought you were saying he wasn't going to play next year.
Oh, no.
You have to play him. You're paying him too much money. There's no way that the Yankees don't play him. But I like what you said when you said give him rest days. I mean, if he is injury prone like the way he is, give him rest days and have Greg Bird there. I mean, that could work out.
But when he's in the lineup, the guy does hit. I mean, for average, but driving the runs, it's what they're paying him for.
It all depends on how Girardi wants to use him. If Girardi goes into this year saying that Teixeira is going to play 120 games, you leave Greg Bird on the Major League roster. If you go into the season saying Teixeira is going to play 140 games, you have to leave Greg Bird down in the minors.
Simple as that, yeah.
I think he's going to. I'm not going to say half the games, but maybe just a little bit less and more able at bats.
Right. What are you kids doing right? What are TJ, Jason, and Chris doing right now?
TJ's playing 2K basketball, listening to Kurtzman on the phone.
They are never not on the phone together.
They love being on the phone.
Oh, you were playing on the team today? You guys lost?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't want to talk.
We don't want to talk
about it.
We don't want to talk about it.
Terrible. Who's your quarterback?
Brandon
Kurtzman.
Oh, there's a problem right there.
Oh, Tommy, that was fun. Oh man! All right, Tommy, thanks a lot for calling in. Tell everyone.
You have a great show. I love listening to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot. We
Thanks, Tom,
appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
All right, take care.
Kurtzman is the problem.
Brandon is the problem.
All
right. See, this is what we were going on. We thought it was the refs issue. There was a play where someone caught the ball on the 1 yard line before their flag was pulled. So we are on the 1 yard line. We are up 21-20 at this point. There's about 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
And George goes up to Brandon and says, "Brandon, run the ball. You're on the 1 yard line. You haven't ran all game. No one's expecting you to run. Run the ball." Instead, Brandon
Malcolm Butler
drops back. We saw it last year. Brandon threw the ball, and he threw a pick, which wasn't a pick because it hit the ground, but the refs didn't see it, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he should have just ran the ball. But
tough.
But it's all right. It's okay because we played hard. Brandon had a great 2 games.
He did.
He played awesome.
Brandon was the first guy to say we're going for the win.
No one knows what we're talking about except for us. But they
don't have a clue.
But you know what? Brandon did a great job. I really got to give kudos to the kid. I said it. He never throws the ball behind you or low or too high. The ball's always where you need it when he throws to you. So, Brandon, good job, but not on that one play.
Yeah. Tough.
It's whatever. We all had our moments.
Good job, Brandon. Good job.
Good job, Brandon.
Good job. Wait till the end. Brandon.
Wait till the end of the show. We'll wait till the end of the show. I'll say Brandon.
George is here. He hasn't said anything in a half hour. That's a new record.
Yeah.
So. I already know. Hey.
I disagree.
With
what?
Brandon.
What?
You don't think he did a good job?
Bonehead. It's a bonehead.
All right, we're shutting his mic off.
Oh, man. 201-825-1234. That's the phone number. 201-825-1234. Call in with your thoughts, please. We have some more MLB Hot Stove coming up in a couple minutes. Neil Walker is now a Met.
And Jonathan Neese is going to be a Pirate.
Yes.
Pending medical reviews.
We'll discuss that. But first, Scotty T.
Very, very short updates because nothing's going on because the break is coming up. So Ramapo is about to have their finals next week, so that's what's going on here. But tonight, the men's basketball team and women's basketball team travel to NJCU, so they travel to Jersey City to face off against the who, Ryan? The Gothic Knights.
I said Gothic Knights. I meant to say Gothic.
The Gothic Knights of NJCU. For the men, it would be for first place in the NJAC. Both teams are 3-0. So let's see if they can get that done tonight. And that's about it for Ramapo for football. Are there any football updates? I mean, LaShawn McCoy goes to Philly. So we'll see what happens. That's their first matchups, I believe, since his trade.
Yeah.
And thank God the Cowboys won on Monday.
Yep.
Because the Giants still have a shot. The Eagles also still have a shot. So Eagles and Giants fans are happy about that.
Simple.
But we'll see what happens. Peace to the East, WRPR 9.3 FM. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WRPR Mawa.
Now that's a face for radio.
Hey, this is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers for RAD. I'm here to remind you that drunk drivers are still a major killer of young adults in this country. So always choose a designated driver, and remember, music lives, you should too.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Ozzy Osbourne. For many years, you know I've had a drink problem, and I'm trying to battle that problem every single day. But one thing I don't do, I don't drive my car when I'm drinking. I get someone to drive me. Do not drink and drive. It's the stupidest thing. If you drink, just don't drive. Not only are you going to hurt yourself, you may hurt some other person, and you wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you?
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Come on! Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
We were torn between rap music to come back and Christmas music.
And Mike had the idea of DMX.
I showed everyone this.
Oh, just listen.
Poor Rudolph.
Come on, come on!
Guy's great.
The guy is really good. That was the best one we ever came back to. Beast of the East, Ryan Moore, Scott Thompson, alongside George Hunkley. George Hunkley.
How is it pronounced?
Hunkley.
It is pronounced Hunkley.
Yeah.
See, there's the E at the end. That's
more people say Hunkle, so I just kind of let it go. I don't really
Siri,
say. I haven't said anything ever.
Siri says Hunkle.
Yeah.
You want to watch? Call George Hunkley.
Did you mean George Hunkle?
No, we said George Hunkley.
It said George Homeboy.
You said Hunkley.
Yeah, I know, but then it said Homeboy.
I thought my name in your phone was Meek Mill.
No, that time's
it should be.
That was the old days.
That's what I mean.
Have you ever seen the videos of us rapping from freshman year?
Yes.
Wait, what's your name on PlayStation again, Ryan?
Rye Dog, a.k.a. Drake.
I'm Scotty T the GOAT.
I'm Swaggy G.
That's the smartest one. Swaggy G
I
is
can't
great.
believe that Rye Dog, a.k.a. Drizzy, was taken. Rye Dog, a.k.a.
Dog D-A-W-G?
Yeah.
Was taken. So R-Y-D-A-W-G.
What nerd?
A.K.A. Drizzy was taken.
Yeah.
What nerd other than Ryan would think of that?
Great minds think alike. It's that simple.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
We've been on a COD kick for the past.
I wonder what people think of when they see our names. Like
Swaggy. All right.
Swaggy G's smart.
Swaggy G, they must think you're like in 4th grade.
No, they probably just think
Scotty T, the GOAT.
Definitely high school. Has to be high school.
I would go with high school.
Nah, Swaggy G is definitely high school.
No, that's like 5th grade and 6th grade.
Maybe, yeah.
Every
Ride Dog, a.k.a. Drake, 4 years old.
It's because of... You know what's funny? When I made the account, it was at the exact time when that story came out.
Hold on, I just got a cramp.
The story came out about Nick Young, how he doesn't have tattoos on his right arm because it's strictly for buckets. That's why my name's that.
Swaggy P, Swaggy G.
Yeah.
I get it.
Strictly for buckets.
Beast mode. Beast mode _12.
Do you see him get stuffed, Nick Young?
No.
When
I don't pay attention.
The caption was like,
anything
the Lakers
Nick
are
Young
having a great season. That was the caption. Great season for the Lakers. It's Nick Young on a fast break by himself. Goes up for the dunk, just gets swatted against the Sixers. That's Nick Young's strictly for buckets arm.
Strictly for buckets. You know who's here for strictly for buckets? Neil Walker.
No, he's not.
I don't know what that means. I tried to make a really good segue.
Tie-in?
He's the worst with words. No, with names. He's the worst with names.
Stink.
Not with baseball.
No, but I'm saying when we're calling games, there was a pair of twins on Kane. The last name was Bacon. He kept saying Brown. As much as you would correct him, he just kept saying it.
Brown.
It's all right.
But your baseball knowledge is wild.
His baseball knowledge
It's
is
off
wild.
the charts.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Cannot wait for baseball season when we call games.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Because I know a lot, but he knows even more, and I feel like I know a lot.
Thank you, dear.
He knows a lot
No,
more.
you do too.
Thank you,
He just knows like a freakish amount.
Yeah, freakish amount.
He's like the only person I've ever seen that actually like sits there and tries to watch every Yankees game. That's insane.
See, my thought process is, even if baseball wasn't my favorite sport, if my team is on, why would I not watch it?
Because
if I'm not doing anything and the Mets are on, I'll turn it on and watch it. But I don't go out of my way to like try and.
You
watch
go
the
out of
game.
your way.
Yeah.
I can't eat dinner with you guys because the Yankees' first pitch is at 7:07. Like you would do that. See, I could care.
Yeah, like I would. I like to eat. Like if my friends are making plans or whatever. I mean, like if I have plans with my friends, like who I don't really see too often, then I'll go. But like if you guys say at like 6:55, do you want to go eat? I'd be like, no, I'll go later on. Like
even if it's game 56 of the regular season.
Yeah, but
because people don't realize every game matters.
Okay, say the Mets played an NFL schedule, had 16 games. I'd watch every single game.
Of course.
It's just because there's so many that I don't care about every single game, even though they all mean the same, like you said.
See, my dad looks at it like Ryan does too. Like Ryan, you watch literally almost every single Yankee game.
If I don't watch a Yankee game, my night is incomplete.
My dad always says, he goes, I might miss something. He goes, I might miss like the coolest play ever, or anything else. So that's why he watches it all the time.
Was he here the 19-inning game?
No.
I think I've told you this story.
That was sophomore year.
Oh, this is unreal. This story.
This is the greatest story ever. You remember when the Yankees and Red Sox went to 19 innings, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so my friend Justin Suarez, he was here, and our friend Jeremy came up, and it was us. It was me, George, Brandon, Mike. Mike was with me.
Mike stayed with you though.
Yeah,
you were both supposed to come.
Yeah, Justin and Jeremy. You guys went out. I don't know where you guys went.
We waited. It was like the 8th inning. We waited till the 9th inning because we were waiting for the game to end, so Ryan would come. But it obviously didn't end in the 9th inning.
Right. So I said, you know what, you guys go, because I'm not going to miss a walk-off win. That's just I can't miss a pitch, let alone a walk-off win. So I said, you know what, you guys go. I'll meet you at wherever you are. They said, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. The game went 19 innings, and I stayed in the room all 19 innings.
And didn't Mike stay with you too, though?
Mike stayed with me.
We got back in like the 17th, 18th inning. The game was still on. This was like 2.5, 3 hours later. The party's over.
They kept texting me. They were like, where are you? I'm like, 17th inning.
And wait, I think the Red Sox won, too.
And the Red Sox won. The Red Sox won the game. Oh, I was so mad.
That's the worst.
But looking back at it, should I really have sat there for 19 innings in the 4th game of the season?
Exactly. Would you rather do that, or my brother was in Cleveland for that 22-4 game when Cleveland beat the Yankees 22-4.
That game was at Yankee Stadium.
Was it? I thought he
Yes,
was in
because
Cleveland.
Melissa's sister was at that game, actually.
Then he was at that game. Imagine watching that in 18. There should be a mercy rule
I was
at
at
that point.
All right, 07, when the Mets, after the Blue lead last game of the season, John Maine was pitching. I was at the game. He let up 7 runs in the first inning before he got, I don't even think he got an out.
John Maine.
Oh, man.
John Maine, Kevin Brown.
I love looking back at players who you forgot played baseball.
Oliver
was good,
Perez.
though.
He was all right.
When they were calling the lineups for the Astros and the Yankees, and they said Oliver Perez, I'm like, he's still playing?
No, we saw Chad Qualls in the outfield.
Yeah.
Chad Qualls just signed a contract with the Rockies 2 years. That's impressive.
See, I don't know how you know all these MLB players because
Because
the stats go so, they're all over the place year to year. I feel like players aren't consistent. And even, mostly position players. I mean, there's obviously the studs, but, a lot of guys vary a lot year to year. Their batting averages are fluctuating all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what happens when you watch every game of every thing, and you follow Ken Rosenthal, you follow Joel, you follow all of the baseball beat writers. That's just what happens. And Ken Rosenthal broke the news that we tried to get into about 5 minutes ago, but then we just went on a tangent that the Mets traded Jonathan Neese for Neil Walker. So I got the only bad thing about this deal is that Neil Walker is a free agent coming 2017. So after this year, he will be a free agent, I think, right?
I mean, I don't think that that's a bad deal because, I mean, Neil Walker isn't, the best of people. If he doesn't produce in New York, you just let him go, if that's the case. But he might bring a quality bat, maybe a pinch-hitting bat as well in those cases, but
he's our starting second baseman.
Yes.
Where do you see Daniel Murphy going now?
Not getting re-signed.
He's not getting re-signed, and that's why I think this is a bad deal because
I'd rather Daniel Murphy than Neil Walker.
He's their starter, so if he doesn't
But he's
play
their
good,
starter for 1 year now, and you got rid of Jonathan Neese.
Well, they like to play Flores at second.
They do.
That's true.
But
because Wilmer's arm also isn't the greatest of arms. That's why.
Neil Walker, he's 30 years. Oh no! Wait, never mind. Yep, scratch that. Never mind.
Well,
so yeah, he's a free agent after this year.
They don't need Neese though. That's why they did it.
They don't need Neese, but
they're re-signing Cologne and they're getting Wheeler back, so they're gonna have that's 6 pitchers again. They don't. Neese is literally not needed.
Neese must have known he.
Do they have G? What happened to G?
Dylan G has to be gone too.
He's not. Didn't he get the No, that was Neese. Wait, G got the designated to start role, right?
Dylan G is in the minors right now.
Wow.
He's in the Mets system, though. But here's the thing. Neil Walker is going to be a free agent this year. I think that they should have signed someone for a few years.
Yeah.
All this talk about Murphy and Zobrist. And Zobrist also almost went to the Mets, but then he went to the Cubs. I think he liked the area more. That's what he said.
We were saying because they didn't know which team that Ben Zobrist was going to when the news broke. They said he agreed to a $56 million contract for 4 years,
Right.
but you didn't know which team it was yet. And we looked at each other and was like, if they're paying him $14 million a year,
they better pay Cespedes.
It better be Cespedes.
That's why once you heard that, you were both like, yeah, it's the Cubs.
You don't want to pay Cespedes $20 million a year, but you'll pay Ben Zobrist $14 million.
You'd much rather pay Cespedes $20 million.
Yeah.
Neil Walker is a free agent after this year. So then they'll be on the unless if they want to re-sign Walker. Walker's not worth what Zobrist is. I don't think Walker's worth what Murphy is. So maybe. I mean,
no, he's not. Murphy's worth more, but Murphy wants too much for someone that can't field the ball.
Right.
I mean, look at those errors in the World Series. That literally dropped him $4 or $5 million.
If he doesn't make those plays, he probably gets paid. And they win the World Series,
and if
the Mets are here.
And if Lucas Duda knows how to throw a baseball,
there's a reason he plays first, right?
Hey, I'm a first baseman.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean you can't. Anyway.
Wow.
You're also a pitcher, though. So.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't always the most accurate pitcher, though. It was rough.
You just throw hard.
I don't know what I throw.
Plus, you're like 6'7", so you get a lot of
George,
velocity.
at least he played in high school.
I was on the team in high school.
George
I wasn't ripping him.
George didn't play baseball.
George didn't play baseball.
George was the best. Me and George were the best JV soccer players ever.
I was the best 12-year-old baseball player of all time. You know what the phrase, though? It doesn't matter how good you are at 12. It matters how good you are at 18.
Me and Scott, JV soccer were like combined like 200 pounds.
Literally.
I've seen that picture.
We were both like 5'4".
I've seen that picture before.
And then the next year, we just grew like fuck. Like
yeah,
big stars.
exactly. So, all right. You have Neil Walker at second base. Who's your shortstop? Flores, right?
Flores and Tejada rotating.
Flores/Tejada.
And then Flores would play, if Neil Walker gets a day off, Flores would play at second. It would be probably like a 3-man rotation through the middle.
Tejada and Flores, it'll be who's hitting better in spring training.
Tejada can only play short, though, and Walker only plays second.
Walker only plays second.
So
Tejada
Flores.
can play both.
Hasn't Neil
Tejada
Walker
can,
also
yeah.
played first before?
What happened?
Hasn't Neil Walker played first?
Let's find out.
No, but they
Probably.
still have Kadire, right? Yeah, so it would be Duda and Kadire. He would never need to play first.
Kadire's a joke.
He really couldn't run towards the end of the
Neil
season.
Walker has never played first base before.
Do you remember that first NLDS game?
The ball he couldn't jump in the outfield to make catches.
Literally. We were making a joke
Mark
the other
Kadire
day.
waved at me twice, though, at Harvey Day.
Nice guy, yeah.
He is a nice guy.
Just
I remember that, yeah. Jerome
Who
Williams.
didn't? Who didn't wave? Kirk New and I scrub.
Kirk New. Oh, yeah, you're right. That guy.
Jerome Williams dapped me up.
Who did?
Jerome Williams.
I don't know who that is.
You know Jerome Williams?
The guy who did the front flip?
No, the guy with the pink glove.
Who?
The guy of the Phillies. His name is Jerome Williams.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
He's got the pink glove. He's the only guy that wears a pink glove.
No, I have no idea.
Look him up right now. Just look him up right now. You know who he is.
Jerome Williams. I'm supposed to know who that guy is?
Yes. He's at the pink glove. He does it. They did a big story about it on ESPN. I think he does it for someone in his family. I think
Probably
passed
breast
away.
cancer.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably his
breast
mom
cancer.
passed away for breast cancer or something
Probably.
like that.
I've never heard of him, though.
Anyway.
You know, you've heard about the deaf guy in the major leagues?
Mike, we're
Is that
talking
Mike?
about the Mets, bud. Come here.
Mike, have you ever heard of Jerome Williams?
What's that?
Have you ever heard of
with the pink glove?
Just say no.
The guy across the street from me named Jerome.
Oh,
Yeah.
close.
Okay, so
Must be him. It must be him. Mike, how do you feel about Neil Walker?
He definitely doesn't know. It just happened.
Neil Walker
Neil
got
Walker just
traded
got
to the
traded for
Mets
Jonathan.
That, right? From,
Jonathan for
It's
Jonathan.
niece for Walker, yeah.
I hate Jonathan Neese. Thank God.
There's
my
no
God,
need
I
for
hate
him.
Jonathan.
That's the only reason they did it. I think is
Oh!
because there's no need.
What happened?
Tigers have agreed to acquire Justin Wilson from the Yankees.
For what?
Yo, we
I
got
don't
rid of
know.
Neese?
For
Is that
what?
all we did?
It doesn't say.
Did
yet.
we just give people away?
Yo, we just got him for Neese straight up.
Yep.
I didn't know we just give people away.
But that means they're not going to sign.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, it's
Tigers,
what
Justin Wilson. Who's worth? He probably is like some.
position does he
Wilson, doesn't he throw gas?
Yes, Justin Wilson.
Yeah.
Justin Wilson was a very good reliever. For
So
this
now
team
does
last
that maybe Miller won't be gone? I mean, you can't be just throwing in your bullpen. You have to have someone in his spot, no?
Let's see. Brian
Wait,
Mitchell, Caleb
think-
Cotham.
Stop. Think about who from the Tigers could possibly go for Justin Wilson.
A prospect.
To be honest with you, if they don't reveal the name, then it probably
We got
means-
Austin Jackson back. No,
I'd
he plays for
lose
the
it.
Mariners.
I
That
would
means it's
lose it.
prospects. If they don't say who it is, it's a 95% shot that it's prospects.
Right.
And maybe like one player on the MLB team who's not as good.
True.
Now that I think about it, though, I really like this Neil Walker deal. Because now you don't have to worry about signing a second baseman until
Very true.
next year. I
That is
mean,
true.
who are.
And we got rid of Jonathan Neese. That's the most.
And you got rid of Jonathan.
But
But
like I
literally,
said,
Jonathan Neese must have known that he was
it's
going
not
to be
it's
gone,
not
but-
needed. They have 6 pitchers. They pick Cologne over Neese. They have 6 guys. You don't need any more.
Right, but all right, hold on. Let's
they
look at
re-signed
let's look
Bartolo
at second
Colon.
baseman.
They probably have some studs in the minor leagues
I
still
said,
too.
they,
They just call
I
guys
said
up.
today that they re-signed Bartolo Colon for a Costco's box of Pop Tarts, and what did I say?
Ooh, the Mets can get Martin Prado next year.
Okay.
Martin Prado is gross.
The
Aaron
Mets
Hill is
spending
not
money.
bad.
Well,
They're not spending money. Yeah, Neil Walker's going to be a free agent. Ian Stewart, I don't know who that is. Want Gordon Beckham?
Ian Stewart.
Colorado, he's
Yeah.
the GOAT. He's not actually the GOAT.
Gordon
He's not
Beckham's
the
not bad.
Yes, he
You
is.
got- you get-
Gordon Beckham. I don't think Gordon Beckham's batted over 250.
You can get Chase Utley.
Yeah, okay.
Hell no.
He just took out our whole team. Clean slide.
Clean side, of course.
So clean.
Of course, clean side. I mean, now the question is, Murphy is not coming back to the Mets.
No. So maybe. Keep going.
What are they going to do about Cespedes?
Maybe they did that so they can pay Cespedes.
Very true.
Save money to pay Cespedes with.
Right. But the thing is, you have to remember, in 3 years, you will not have Harvey, DeGrom, and Syndergaard.
You probably keep 2.
So, if that. So, who do you want the money to go to?
Cespedes or
Harvey?
I said you should trade Harvey. I said this at the end of the season.
Harvey is probably going to be traded
to the Yankees.
If the Mets are bad, he'll get traded at a trade deadline. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if they're bad. But even if they're that's a risk. Do you want to take the risk? If you are competing and Matt Harvey is going to be a free agent and he is dealing for you, let's say the Mets are in the position they were in this year, and Matt Harvey is going to be a free agent, and you know you're not going to re-sign him because the Yankees could have traded Robinson Cano, and they didn't. And they got nothing in return until just now when they got Stalin Castro.
I just think that I feel like you have to get Cespedes now because if Matt Harvey is dealing, I'm sorry, when he goes on free agent, the highest bidder is going to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's going to go.
Harvey's going to get Greinke money. Harvey's going to get Greinke money.
Yeah, he'll look nice in a Yankees uniform.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Him and Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper has to shave his face, but
2021 Yankees World Series champs.
Just add something. Scott's been wearing leggings since 12:30.
I like them now. I'm breaking them in.
Like if I'm the Mets, I'm paying everyone. You have 2 or 3 years to win. You have 2 or 3 years to win before these pitchers leave. 1 or 2 of them are going to leave. This is the best shot they have had to win in years. Yeah. You should just pay everyone.
Right, but the Mets have to think long term. That's the problem. Easy. You psycho?
He keeps touching me.
Okay.
If only people can see what goes on in this.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, though. I feel like you have to pay Cespedes first because Matt Harvey is going to leave. I really think he's going to leave, especially if he's dealing. You're saying if he's dealing for you, have to sign him back. If he's dealing, he's not going back to the Mets because they're not going to give him the money that he would want.
I think Cespedes wants 25 a year, though. I don't think he wants 20. I think he wants 25.
He does.
You realize he's not worth 25.
But again, what he did,
that's what he's
he did in the World Series and the NLCS doesn't deserve him that.
What he did, Yoenis Cespedes is not a 300 hitter. This was his best year.
By far.
By far. He hits 250, 260. He usually only hits about 20 home runs. People don't realize that. But this year, Cespedes went off. He had 35 home runs, 100-plus RBIs, and he hit 300. But
Mets need the speed on the bases.
Can you hit reload on that Ken Rosenthal? I want to see what happened. I want to see who the Yankees got.
Ken Rosenthal.
You saw the play where he hosed the guy at third? He deserves like $7 million a year just from that throw.
Ryan Morrick, Scott Thompson, along with Mike DeNino and George Hunkley in the studio. 201-825-1234. That's the number. Call in with your thoughts. 201-825-1234. We'll be back after this.
You're listening to WRPR Mawa.
Now that's a face for radio.
It's perfect. It's unbelievable.
It's a miracle.
It's a TV dinner.
It's WRPR, Mawa Ramapo Radio.
It could change the world.
Listening to WRPR.
Hey, parents of children with asthma, here's another hit from the Breathe Easies.
Don't smoke in the house. Don't smoke in the house. Don't smoke around the kids in the house. Don't smoke in the car. Don't smoke in the house. Don't break my heart with your secondhand smoke in the kids and can trigger the asthma.
Preventing asthma attacks can be as simple as making your home and car smoke-free zones. For more Breathe Easy tips to help stop asthma attacks, go to noattacks.org.
Hey, this is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers for RAD. I'm here to remind you that drunk drivers are still a major killer of young adults in this country. So always choose a designated driver, and remember, music lives, you should too.
Getting born in the state of Mississippi. Papa was a copper and the mama was a hippie.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
You better not
Bring out the Forrest Gump dance in the background.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
I wish the camera in this studio worked.
Just to watch George.
All right, best Christmas albums of all time.
Michael Bublé.
Bublé's up there.
It's got to be Bublé. He's like every Christmas song he sings.
Bublé's up there. Bruce Springsteen is up there.
Mariah Carey's solid.
Mariah Carey's up there. Justin Bieber's is terrible except for Santa Claus is coming to town.
Ryan, don't act like you don't like Justin Bieber.
I do like Justin Bieber, but that album was a joke. I've been a fan of Justin Bieber since my freshman year of high school.
Baby.
Yeah, who would you go gay for first, Justin Bieber or Derek Jeter?
What is that? Jeter. All right. My question to you two, let's get into football for the last 5 minutes. Who has a better shot at making the playoffs?
Giants.
The Giants or the Jets?
Giants.
Me and George did the math the other day.
My dad even texted me. He was like, you go through this scenario, the Jets aren't making the playoffs. Like, if they win 10 games, which they might not even do, they're not going to make the playoffs.
But they have the wild card right now, though.
It doesn't matter because if Pittsburgh and them both go 3-1, Pittsburgh gets it. And then Kansas City's schedule is literally a joke. They're going to go 4-0. It's just a joke.
We legitimately looked at each game.
Kansas City's like a lock for a wild card.
We legitimately looked at each game and picked the...
What are the Eagles' schedule?
The Eagles are the favorite in the NFC East, according to the betting people.
The favorite right now.
Besides us again?
All I know
week
is
they
that
play the Bills, and then I think they play someone like the Browns or someone easy.
They play the Redskins.
No, they don't play the Browns. They play the Giants, Redskins.
Yeah.
Giants, Redskins, Bills is the Eagles.
Bills, and then one other team.
Yeah. The Giants have...
it's the Bears or someone like that, I think.
I think the Jets have the better odds because the Jets are better than the Giants. The Giants have a very tough schedule. The Giants might not win another game for the rest of the season. I really believe that. They could either win out or they can lose out. That's how they are.
No matter what, if the Jets win 10 games and a team with 7 wins makes the playoffs, someone would be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's tough in that situation. I mean, look at who's... It looked like we did what? Seattle? Looks like they're going to have to play an away game when they're 10-6 or 11-5. They have to go play.
You're pissed if you're them.
Yeah.
But they're not going to lose, though. They're too good. The Vikings will.
But that's the thing. Russell Wilson has his days where he just doesn't perform. And he just can't
Recently,
seem to
he
find
hasn't been
anybody.
doing
I mean,
it, though.
obviously, the
He's
past
gone
2
off.
games he's gone off. But right now, Ryan, I really think it's the Giants.
Yeah,
I really think the Giants have the best chance. We said this. I think it comes down to that Giants-Eagles game in Week 17.
I think the NFC East will come down to that game. I mean, I don't because what are the Redskins going to do?
Exactly. The Redskins put themselves in a hole now. They had to win that game.
Yeah. 2 teams in the NFC East control their own destiny, as insane as that sounds, because the Redskins and Eagles play each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Giants don't control their own destiny. Cowboys obviously don't because they're a game back.
So in that game, the Redskins-Eagles game, who are you rooting for?
You want the Eagles to win, and then you have to beat the Eagles.
The Eagles, okay.
I think.
You want the Eagle...
Because who's got the tiebreaker?
No, or
between
maybe
the
you want the
Redskins and
Redskins. It depends on the divisional
They
record.
went 1-1. Right now, it's the Redskins. The Giants are 2-3 in the division. The Redskins are 2-2.
The 4th team the Eagles play is the Cardinals, so
that's a loss.
But
that should be a loss.
That is week. I don't think the rest of starters. It's week 14, and the Cardinals are like the 2 seed almost no matter what.
Right.
So it's possible that they rest their starters, but that's really early to rest starters for week 14. That's early.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to rest starters.
Yeah. What's funny is probably the Carolina. I mean, the last game that they play, I feel like the rest are starters against the...
If the Giants lose on Monday night in Miami, then their season's over.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think that they can... I mean, like, the division winner's probably going to be 7-9, but you have to...
You have to win this game against Miami.
The stat is crazy. If the Giants games ended with 75 seconds, if they took 75 seconds off the clock, they'd be 10-2. That is the most insane stat I've ever heard.
They'd be a 3 seed.
I know, but they stink.
But that proves that they can beat these teams.
Exactly
why. That's what I've been trying to say to people.
Exactly why they're dangerous. You don't want to play
as bad
them.
as the Giants are. They are a dangerous football
Everyone
team.
else in the NFC is rooting against the Giants.
You see them on your schedule, and you're like, I don't want
What
to play
team
them.
are you the most scared to face in that division?
Definitely.
The
It
Giants.
has to be the Giants.
It's not
That
even a
offense
question.
Because
is
of the
top
offense.
5 in the league.
Eagles are second.
if you have a game like DRC had, maybe against the Cowboys, granted it was Matt Castle, but this team finds its way to somehow get an interception or some freak fumble recovery. I mean, their defense is awful, don't get me wrong, but like we said, who knows what happens in the playoffs? Tom Coughlin just knows how to win in the playoffs.
Can I say the Eagles actually, they finally put Sproles the starter. He's the best running back in the system.
Yep.
They finally let him be the starter. Chip Kelly said it's a week-to-week thing now, which finally means they're not playing DeMarco Murray every week, and they actually looked so much better.
It comes down to week 17.
Yeah.
It does.
It comes down to week 17.
It does, but if the Giants lose on Monday, I think they're like you have to go into these last 4 games saying we have to go 8-8. Even though it's probably going to be 7-9.
You have to take it a game at a time because after last week, you really have to just sit down and say we have to win each game through first quarter to the fourth quarter.
Cowboys play the Redskins too last week, so it's really going to be crazy.
Yeah.
The league sets it up like that on purpose.
Yeah, they do division games on week 17.
Especially in the NFC East, though.
So they give people heart attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Rothenberg. Doesn't open his presents with his kids.
That was bad. Oh, that was bad. You know what else is bad? We only have 2 more shows left
until
the
break. Yeah, but me and Ryan will be coming back here to call games.
Yeah, don't worry. You won't miss us too much.
Peace to the East, not Brandon throwing at the 1-yard line.
Ryan Moore, Scott Thompson,
Mike,
George Hunkley.
We're not letting
Mike
you get
Danino.
we're not letting
It's not
you get
goodbye. It's see you later.
Brandon, you played well. Don't listen to him, Brandon. 100.
Take care, everybody.
I want you to be mine.